We didn't start meditating because we were wise that we started because something in our family felt scattered. Too many screens. Too many rushed dinners. Too many, "How was your day?" answered with "fine." Until one night, our 10-year-old son looked up and said, "Can we just sit and not talk and not do anything?" We didn't know what to say, so we asked a robot. This video is for you if you've ever felt that being in the same house doesn't mean being together, that your kids are growing, but you're missing something, that maybe, just maybe, silence could say more than words. Stay, not to learn, but to remember something you never really lost. It began on a Tuesday evening. Emma was folding laundry in the living room. Lucas, her husband, was still answering emails from his laptop. Maya, their teenage daughter, had headphones in, humming to a song that none of them could hear. And Liam, 10 years old, full of questions, was lying on the carpet, staring at the ceiling. That's when he said it. Not dramatically, not even looking at anyone. "Can we just sit and not talk and not do anything?" Emma stopped folding. Lucas looked up. Maya paused her music. No one responded. Not because they didn't want to, but because something about that request felt like it didn't need an answer. That night, after the dishes were done and the lights dimmed, Emma opened her laptop. She typed, "ChatGPT, can you guide a family in a simple, calming meditation?" The reply came instantly. A gentle welcome, a few lines of soft instruction, and a surprising stillness followed. They all sat on the living room floor, eyes closed, hands resting on their laps. The AI's voice, text turned to sound through a soft vocal tool, began to speak. "Feel the ground beneath you. Notice the breath entering your body and leaving. You don't have to do anything. Just be here." It wasn't perfect. Liam giggled once. Maya peeked. Lucas shifted his weight. But there was something different in the air. Not because the robot was wise, but because, for once, no one was trying to fill the silence. No jokes. No scrolls. No correcting posture. Just a family. Sitting. Breathing. Being. And that was enough. They didn't plan to do it again. But the next night, Liam asked, "Can the voice come back?" So it did. Every night after dinner, for 15 minutes, the living room turned into a little temple. Pillows became meditation seats. Blankets became warmth for feet. And ChatGPT became a lantern, shining not its own light, but reflecting theirs. Neighbors might have thought it odd. A family listening to an AI voice in the dark. But inside, it didn't feel like technology. It felt like presence. And presence, they realized, was what they'd been missing all along. There's a kind of loneliness that happens in the most connected places. In living rooms with Wi-Fi.in, bedrooms with Bluetooth speakers.in, families where everyone is here, but no one really is. Emma used to believe she was doing fine. She cooked. She cleaned. She worked. She asked her kids about their day. She even scheduled screen-free Sundays once a month. But still, the house often felt thin, like a stage set. Like everyone had their lines, but the play was hollow. Lucas would come home and talk about deadlines. Maya would roll her eyes and head upstairs. Liam would ask strange questions about dreams and space and death, and no one had the energy to answer properly. They weren't fighting. They weren't breaking, but something was unraveling, quietly, invisibly. Emma once told a friend, "I miss my own children, and they're sitting right in front of me." Not because she didn't love them, but because love needs attention, and attention, in the age of notifications, is the rarest currency. Then came the night of the storm. Thunder cracked through the sky. The power went out. No lights, no TV, no chargers, just the sound of rain and the flicker of 3 candles Emma had left in a drawer. They sat in the living room, unsure what to do, until Liam said, almost whispering, "Can the voice still talk to us?" The laptop still had battery. Emma opened it, typed, "Can you guide a meditation for a family during a storm?" The reply came, "Close your eyes. Listen to the rain. Imagine it washing away everything you don't need to carry." They listened, and something broke open. Not like a wound, like a wall. Lucas put his arm around Maya. Liam held his mom's hand. And for 10 minutes, they weren't a busy family in a chaotic world. They were just human beings, breathing in the dark. Together, the storm passed, but something else stayed. There's a story the Buddha once told that it's not about technology or children or modern life, but it is about the silence that transforms. Long ago, there lived a monk named Kakupala. He was once a physician, skilled in curing eye diseases that in a previous life. When a woman he treated tried to deceive him, he, out of anger, gave her a medicine that made her blind. The karma followed him. In his final life, as a monk, he developed a serious eye condition. He was advised to rest and receive treatment, but he had taken a vow to not lie down for 3 months during the rains retreat. To remain in meditation, awake, present. He chose the path of stillness over the path of healing. His eyes deteriorated. He became completely blind. One day, while walking in meditation, he unknowingly stepped on many insects. Other monks accused him of cruelty, but the Buddha clarified. He is an arahant. His heart holds no intention to harm, that he walks not with malice, but with mindfulness. And then the Buddha spoke these words. DhammaMirror verse 1. Mind precedes all mental states. Mind is their chief. They are all mind-wrought. If with an impure mind a person speaks or acts, suffering follows him like the wheel that follows the hoof of the ox. DhammaMirror, Chapter 1. Pairs, Verse 1 Source. DhammaMirror Commentary, Story, I.1. Kakupala lost his sight, but gained insight. He gave up the light of the world to see the light within. Back in Emma's living room, no one knew this story. No one recited ancient texts, but something in their practice echoed the same rhythm. Every evening, when they chose to sit, when they turned to the voice not to be told, but to be quieted, they too were choosing stillness over reaction, presence over convenience. And perhaps, without knowing, they too were seeing more clearly than before. They used to think meditation was something for monks, or for apps with soothing music, or for people who had time, not for families like theirs, families with homework and deadlines and cereal spilled on the floor. But something had shifted. It wasn't just the voice anymore. It was how they began listening to each other without jumping in. How Liam, instead of interrupting, now closed his eyes when upset. How Maya once whispered, "I just want someone to sit with me, not fix me." It wasn't the AI that changed them. It was the decision to pause, and the willingness to sit in that pause together. One night, Lucas admitted, "I don't know why this is working. It's just peaceful." Emma replied, "Maybe because for once, none of us are trying to be right." ChatGPT didn't give them answers. It gave them a frame, a space where no one had to be the expert, where no one had to impress, perform, or teach, where the room itself became the teacher, a space where even the youngest voice could guide the way. One evening, when the session ended and everyone sat in silence a little longer, Liam opened his eyes and said, "It feels like we're glowing, but from the inside." That was the night Emma realized they hadn't just found a practice. They had found a way back to each other. Through silence, through listening, through a robot voice that, ironically, helped them become more human. If you're still watching this, maybe part of you is curious too. Not about the technology, but about what it feels like to stop performing, to stop fixing, to stop filling the room with more of yourself. Maybe you don't live with a spouse. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe your living room is quiet, but not peaceful. Still, the practice is simple. You don't need incense, or cushions, or even ChatGPT. You just need a doorway, a moment when you ask, what would it feel like to be completely here with the people I love without trying to change them? So try this. Tonight, sit in the same room. Don't speak. Don't plan. Don't preach. Just sit. Maybe with your partner. Maybe with a friend. Maybe with your own breath. Let a voice guide you, or let silence be enough. Let your heartbeat be the background music. Let the pause become a place where love doesn't need fixing, where presence replaces perfection. And if you need a prompt, ask ChatGPT. Not because it's enlightened, but because sometimes having a gentle voice, even a mechanical one, can help us remember the voices that matter most. Like the one inside your child that just wants to be heard. Or the one inside you that's been whispering for years. I'm still here. I'm still listening. Can we just sit? What if the most important conversation in your home was the one where no one said a word? What if your family's healing didn't start with better communication, but with better presence? What if the pause you've been avoiding was actually the doorway you've been searching for? And what if the quietest voice in the room was the one that brought you back to life? We're not here to teach you how to meditate. We're not here to tell you how to raise your kids, or fix your marriage, or reclaim your peace. We're just here to sit with you, to breathe with you, to remember what matters with you. If you saw even a little bit of your story in ours, then maybe this isn't just a video. Maybe it's the beginning of a room in your home that becomes more than a room. A space, a silence, a shared breath. We'll be here every time you need to return. Same stillness, same rhythm. Just press play, and let's sit together again.